Tonight's podcast is brought to you by the BBC.
Tonight, a podcast like no other. A podcast that will thrill you to your bones. A podcast that will curl your toes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Louisville's best podcast. A podcast about everything, nothing, and all things in between. Shout out to you, Louisville's best listeners. We're so excited that you decided to tune in and listen to us. Maybe you're watching us on YouTube right now. Maybe you're rethinking your life choices after seeing us. Either way.
Or maybe you're in the school line handing out snacks and kicking. Woo! Let's do this.
John,
Yeah.
sweat, no context. No context.
Okay.
Sweats or oversized shorts?
Sweats or oversized shorts?
No context.
Sweats.
Yeah.
Sweats, definitely.
Yeah,
Sweats, definitely.
Yeah.
That's a good choice.
Good stuff. Anyways, we are Louisville's best podcast, and we are fools. And we're so excited that you are joining us. Just the four of us tonight, as Aaron is still missing in action in Texas. What kind of action, you're asking me? I don't know. Whatever he does in Texas. But anyways, we're excited.
Whatever he does in Texas.
Whatever he does in Texas. A new documentary on Apple. Charlie, how are you, buddy?
I'm just peachy, Tim. How are you doing, bud?
Charlie, if you were sitting in your house, what crazy animal would you have to see out your window that would have to make you like tell somebody the story? Like, oh my gosh, you won't believe what I just saw.
I tell everybody about every animal.
Every animal?
Yeah.
Every animal?
There was a possum literally like 20 feet from my
I would tell
car.
somebody about a possum.
And I was so adorable. It was a baby. She's a baby possum. She's a baby. And it let me get fairly close, and then it ran away. I was hoping it would play dead, and I just pick it up.
Now,
in the house,
Charlie,
but,
what's the difference between a possum and an opossum?
Nothing.
it's the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a possum.
There are various forms of the possum for different climates and different possums is, but opossum and possum, it's the same thing. Yeah.
John, what about you? Is there? I mean, like, if a dog or cat gonna get your attention, or you got to see something pretty exotic walk past?
Well,
the door?
the other day, I was standing in the kitchen talking to my.
I don't believe this tone of your voice.
What? It's the truth. I mean, I'm giving it. It's mystical. It's magical.
Just
it's,
an early morning, John.
It was an early morning.
In his drive.
One early morning, as he was standing there in the kitchen,
I
and he
had
happened to-
marmalade jelly out, and I
Yes.
was
watching Unsolved
some
Mysteries
sweet
on the
tea.
television.
Oh, they don't drink sweet tea either.
Yeah.
Go ahead, anyways.
Anyway, so I was sitting there talking to my mom on the phone, probably about something my dad had done. I don't know. And
Calipers.
talking about a truck, or something. And I happened to look out the back window, and our fence lines up to this swamp. That's the only way you can really put it.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw some movement, and there right across from my fence was this big deer just walking through the woods. And I was like, oh, there's a deer.
Did you say, oh dear?
You beat me to it.
No, I didn't. But I don't know what it is, because it's like we see them all the time.
Swamp deers.
The swamp deer. And but for some reason, I don't know what it is. I guess it's because growing up in Louisville, you never saw deer. You never saw deer at all. I mean,
I see deer all the time.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, over by the house.
not my house though.
Yeah.
Not where I lived. I mean, not.
Not in the south end of town.
Yeah, no.
That's what he's trying to say, folks.
Yeah, not here on the. No,
Not where we live.
Not on Dixie Highway.
no.
Why
I mean,
not?
you didn't. You didn't. You didn't see them. You had to go to Otter Creek to see a deer.
That's right.
Well, now Brian packed me up on this, won't you? You didn't see him out here in PRP.
Brian had him out in Shively.
Either
Shively
No.
deer.
No, we
you
didn't.
You never saw him unless
We didn't call them deer in Charlie.
Rubbertown, there's all kinds of deer. Some of them,
Now, I will
heads,
say,
but, yeah.
I was
7
visiting near a
legs.
certain place down there about on the Greenbelt near church, and literally had 3 of them run right out in front of me.
yeah.
Like,
Oh, they're all
by
over
the
the
golf course.
I mean, they're absolutely
Sun
all over the
Valley,
place
I think,
now.
sorry.
But anyways, deer. There was a deer out there in the backyard. We see them every once in a while, but I just don't. I love it. I mean, I love seeing the deer. It's just I don't know what it is about it. It's just it's something great.
Brian, how about you? What's it going to take to get your
animal juices
your
flowing.
animal juice? What's going to
Literally,
bring the animal instincts out of you?
The craziest thing, literally, when you said it, the first animal that popped in my head was a kraken. I have no idea
kraken?
why. I was like, yeah, I don't know why.
definitely.
Yeah, that's going to get a bunch of people's attention.
out of my
Tell you
swimming,
what,
out of
I
the pool.
see a bear.
I mean, the kids already
nothing.
think there's alligators or a shark out there, so why not just have a kraken?
Release the kraken.
That's right. We do like pirates around here.
Yeah,
so.
because you're sitting on the beach and you see a dolphin
giant
by, and you're like, but man, you see a kraken.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
No.
ever see a
bro.
kraken swim by?
Well, guys,
It's over.
I've got a story
I'm just
about
here for the comic
if
relief.
I saw this walking by, it catch my attention. But first, I got to share a story, a personal story, from when I went and saw Mom and Dad
No news. Okay.
down in Louisiana.
I had the news bumper up and
I've
everything.
got them.
It's
You want to go news first?
No, not now. I mean, I've already taken it back down.
Anyhow,
Executive producer
so Mom and
You know how hard
Dad,
it is to do it.
Johnny.
Yeah.
so Mom and Dad, like they don't like live out in the country, but they don't live in the city. They're kind of like on that in between where everybody's got like an acre lot of their own. So there's like a decent enough gap in between. So it's not like a super populated area. It's about 10 o'clock at night, and we were playing like a board game or doing a puzzle or something, and somebody starts telling a story, and we hear a cat meow, and I thought it was like one of the kids with their phone or something, and like you hear a cat meow again, and of course Dad's like, "Who's meowing?" Whatever, you know.
It's one of us.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
it's
mean,
like
it's
one of us or whatever.
definitely me.
And so we stop, and basically there's a cat on the front porch of the house, and he starts
Has he got a-
clawing
Has he got a human
at the
face?
door. Not yet, but he will shortly.
Oh.
This
is getting
so
good.
like Dad like opens the door and it tries to get in, and he like shoos it away. Shut the door. Okay. So about 30 minutes later, Aaron and Andrea are leaving, and we're like, "Don't let the cat in." Well, they open the door and the cat's gone.
Yeah.
So they go out to the car, whatever. So we're sitting there, and all of a sudden, there's a knock at the door, and it's Andrea. She's back at the door, and she says, "Hey, there's a girl at the end of the driveway. She wants to know if she can charge her phone." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Of course, Mom's like, "No, absolutely not. No, don't let anybody in."
Okay, but that,
Yeah.
honestly, that's
Oh,
kind of weird.
It's weird. It is. So I'm like, it does. I'm like, what are you talking about? And sure enough, we go outside, and at the end of the driveway is like a 15-year-old girl on a bike, and her phone has died.
She got black eyes.
She had dark hair.
Oh.
I didn't get close enough to look at her eyes.
I thought maybe she was dark-eyed
She
children.
might have been.
I'm
Anyways,
surprised your dad wasn't like, we got an outdoor outlet. Plug it over there.
we did.
Ah.
We let her charge the phone on the outdoor
There
outlet.
you go.
That's
And
smart.
So she charges it,
No unsolved mysteries for us tonight.
and she leaves.
Oh, okay. Does it get better?
and
And
then
then she comes back. She didn't charge it long enough. And so like, but like this is like 10:30 at night. And I'm like, here's a charger. Just take it. Just go. And then she's like, I'll bring it back. I'm like, okay, just knock on the door, whatever. She never comes back. Never comes
Well,
back.
she got a charger from you.
Oh, yeah. The next morning,
Is the plot thicken?
the cats are back.
Mhm.
And sitting on the front porch on their chair is the charger.
That's weird. I mean, I don't know.
My theory.
So she can transmogrify into a cat, but she can't remember her charger.
Yes, exactly. Well, if she's a cat, of course she doesn't know how to charge her phone properly.
I was going to say, and then when we got up, there was a cat riding a bicycle with a cell phone.
might have
that would have
been
been
done that. Anyways,
amazing. I would have gone
My
for that
theory
story.
is that she was a vampire and she couldn't come into the house,
Oh yeah.
and so because nobody would invite her in, and that's why the cats, when Dad opened the door, weren't able to bolt in because cats can bolt pretty fast. And yet my dad was able to keep the cat out.
So instead of it being let's say a bat, she turned into a cat.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
Louisiana.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I can
it's
see
gonna be a
it.
new
So
mini series we're
now-
gonna start.
Yeah. it's
On the
like-
back porch are a series of kittens have showed up. I'm not really sure. Not really sure how the connection is there. Maybe she split into multiple.
that was
cats.
probably what all the meowing was going on out
Yeah.
there. So,
Anyways, so what's it take to tell a story for me?
That reminds me of a
Cat.
story that happened to me one time.
I feel like you're gonna mock me.
So there was a bird outside of the house, and then I heard the song "Surfing Bird" on the radio at the same time, and then the song asked for a charger.
there was this one time.
So we saw this cat one time.
There was this one time. This
That was a
guy.
good story.
This guy
good
walked
story.
past
Creepy.
my house and he had a
Yeah,
You can
dog.
definitely like creep that
The
up
next
around
day,
Halloween. Like,
He didn't have the dog.
It's all right. I lost
Makes you
control.
think, doesn't
We
it?
had spaghetti and Dad dropped
Yeah.
garlic right at the front door.
You know, I
Makes you
thought
think.
we were putting on a really good podcast for middle school mothers, and then you guys just had to just
I crushed you.
crush the dreams.
That's a good story, Tim. It was a good
No.
story. It was a very good
What's-
story.
What was your new
One time, a middle school mother had a cat,
She brought it to the school,
and it needed to charge its phone.
but we didn't have a phone or a charger.
Because this was 1986.
Was it at 10 o'clock at night?
No. All we had was a landline in the garage.
I'm sorry. I know you think I'm making fun of you. I'm not. It's just that I was waiting for something and it never came, and that was my expectations, and I apologize.
Sorry, I don't have the creepy stories.
Tim, it was a good story.
No, it wasn't.
it was.
You guys,
Like,
It
no,
was
that ain't
a
that.
very good
you know
story,
what?
Tim.
I'm not even telling you my news story because you guys are going to tell me
Aw.
that it sucks also.
No,
so,
we won't do that.
Talk about whatever.
Not to your face.
Yeah,
Tim, does it involve an animal from down under?
it does.
It does.
But you guys will never know.
Oh, come
man.
on.
You guys
Tim.
will
We're
never
sorry.
know.
I will not be able to go to sleep tonight if I don't.
I'm
know
sorry.
it.
We got some news.
Fine, escaped kangaroo captured after punching a Canadian officer. All right.
Thank you.
A kangaroo that escaped its handlers during transport to a new home was captured on Monday east of Toronto after a weekend in the wild. But not before delivering a punch in the face to one of the police officers who brought her run to an end.
It was the delivery. Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
That was great.
You redeemed that story.
If you have, I wish I had my hand clapping on this. I would just. That was absolutely brilliant.
This is what happens when we podcast at 10 after talking about
Yeah,
a
it's
phone
10:30.
charger and
It's
a
10:13.
cat and a
We're-
kangaroo.
I have my sides hurt so bad right now. Tim.
Oh, that was
The
amazing.
female kangaroo hopped over her handlers late on Thursday during a rest stop at the Oshawa Zoo and Fun Farm in Ontario. The park supervisor and head keeper, Cameron whatever this name is, told the CBC. Video emerged on social media on Friday of the marsupial, who was born in captivity, running along the roads in Oshawa, a town on Lake Ontario about 37 miles east of
So this
Toronto.
happened in Canada.
Yeah, was it the headline that I said, John?
Sorry, we were laughing too hard.
Officers on patrol spotted the kangaroo at around 3 a.m. on Sunday on a rural property in northern Oshawa. They contacted the kangaroo's handlers. They grabbed it by the tail as instructed, John. The kangaroo punched one of the officers in the face during the capture. It's something
That's
that... Oh, wait,
amazing.
hold on. I got to put on my Canadian voice. It's something that he and his platoon mates will be remembering for the rest of their careers, he told.
Hey,
They'll be talking about it forever.
hey, I was thinking maybe we just don't mess with the kangaroo.
We're going to keep her here for a little while longer. Let her rest up and make sure she's safe, he said.
Brian, your turn.
There you go.
I don't have that in me. I'm sorry.
That's the story, fellas.
That's a great one.
You're
Good
welcome.
deal. Good deal.
You're welcome.
It's almost like a northern Wisconsin accent you got
It's,
there, too.
Yeah, it's more
It's
Minnesota.
me. It's what you get, all right?
Minnesota, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you get.
Sure.
I've been watching Fargo. Sorry.
Ah, there we go.
King of terrible Minnesotan accents.
I thought you were going to say King of Tulsa next. That was
Yeah.
That's a good show.
I'd like to watch that one, but
It's a very good
my
show.
parents told me I couldn't. But anyways, recently this week, actually it was before this week, but we dropped it in Bear Chat or whatever it is this week. Aaron sent us the Roadhouse remake trailer starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor.
Mhm.
Okay. It was okay. It had a few laughs, a lot of broken bones. Jake Gyllenhaal slapped a bunch of people in the face. I mean, open-handed and everything.
Mhm.
And he taught a guy how to punch somebody. So,
He did do a slap down. I saw that.
have you ever wanted to just slap
Oh, you don't
somebody?
even understand.
Just slap
You
slap
have-
the mess out of them.
You have no clue how many times I've just wanted to slap the fire out of somebody.
You ever watch those slap contests where people like
Oh
Those
my
Russian
gosh.
slap like those
Yeah.
Russian,
Yeah.
those
There's
guys
like
are just like,
there's like a slap league. Like
yeah, it's
Yeah.
part of the MMA.
yeah,
Like-
it's insane. There's no way.
I want to do that, but I'd have to be like, I quit after I
I would-
slapped them.
I would go and root for you.
I would.
I would so
We
go
would
and
be
root for
your,
you.
your ring corner.
I would be annihilated.
We'd be the guys that stand behind you when you got
Like
knocked
you, like
out.
what we would do is, okay, you do the first slap, and then right before they get to go do it, one of us would throw the towel in for you.
Yeah,
and
I
just
don't
be
think
like,
that.
"So, no, no,
I
he's
don't think
done,
they
he's
let
done,
you do
he's done."
that.
See,
He's
I
done.
would.
I don't think they. Let
I would
you
be
do
the guy who forgets to throw the towel and Tim just lose half
John
his
would be
teeth.
like, "Oh, why am I holding this white towel? Oh, that was I'm supposed to throw it in."
That's what the mouthpiece.
John, can you help us pick
The
Tim up off
mouthpiece
the floor?
is there to
Like,
help
that's-
protect the teeth. I'd get matched up with somebody like Charlie with just massive.
Oh, I know. I
arms,
was like, crow.
and I'd like slap him, and they'd be like, they'd be like, oh.
Just be like,
Be like,
look at that. Look at that.
That's where my biceps torn.
It would just.
You'd still slap.
have you
me
seen the
some more.
one? There's like they show the whatever the highlights of it or whatever. There's one between two women, and like this lady gets smacked in the face, and I mean, you would think she would go down. She just literally just looks at her and is like, "Thanks, appreciate that."
Yeah.
Then literally hits the one
Knocks
retaliates,
her out.
literally to where the woman is on the ground like shaking. She
Yeah,
gets hit
it's
so hard,
it's
and
too
I'm just
much.
like,
It's just
wow.
it's just hard to watch.
Yeah,
But I mean, but you can't stop watching.
Now I watched like one round. Oh, I'm good.
because
I'm
the
good.
cloud of dust
Of
that comes off
shock.
of the face.
Boom.
I mean, it's
There's a Russian one where there's this kid. I mean, he's an adult, obviously, but he's Susie's size. It's skinny and little.
Susie's
He's got his
size.
eyes like tattooed, like the whites of his eyes are tattooed. He's a tough guy. And the guy that he's fighting against, slapping against, is bigger than all of us combined.
Oh
I
my
mean, this
gosh.
dude's just massive. And the kid smacks him.
puts his hand up against his like as big as his head.
Yeah, that's what the kid smacked him, and he didn't flinch. I mean, like his face moved, but nothing changed. And he was doing like he was measuring the
Yeah.
distance, and his hand was bigger than the kid's face.
Yeah,
And yeah, hit him and knocked him all the way out.
knocked him in the next week, like
It's-
literally.
do you-
Yeah.
like,
He
I mean,
might
I
have-
wonder if there's like literally like a technique of like, okay, I've got to make sure that this part hits the
Yeah.
temple or whatever. But like, you know what? I don't really want to knock this person out. I just want to let them know that I'm here right now.
It's got to
Like,
be here in this section, like the cheek. Yeah.
Oh wow.
If you're gonna slap somebody,
Flat.
If you're
Slap
gonna be
him on.
dumb, you got to be tough.
you gotta slap him on the cheeks.
That's right.
So from Collider, guys, 10 iconic '80s movies that should never be remade.
Oh, nice.
Okay, this is a Collider article, but according to Reddit, so whatever. All right, so here we go. Number 10, iconic, Big Trouble in Little China, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. Kurt Russell, Jack Burton. You know what old Jack Burton says.
Who's Jack Burton?
I love that movie, and I watched it so many times as a kid. But I kind of wouldn't mind seeing it remade, honestly. I'd watch a new version of it.
I guess it would just depend on who's, in it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true. I
it's
mean,
just-
if they remake it with like Jake Gyllenhaal, no.
It should be his son.
The bad Captain America.
U.S. agent.
Well,
Yeah.
and I mean,
he
and
would be perfect. And
he's. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
he's a much better comedic actor than he is a serious actor.
He is.
That was kind of what's great about him in as U.S. agent is that he was comedic until he kind of turned that corner, became evil.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's a really great comedic actor.
He was really good in Monarch on the Apple series because they did a really cool thing in it that I really kind of appreciate.
Unless
Because
you hated it.
by the end of it, it
grew on you.
it didn't really grow on you, but it
Redeemed itself.
yeah, kind of at the end, the last episode kind of brought it all together. And you know how we talked about it last podcast. You know how them streaming services are that they drag things out, and then the last two episodes are like really awesome. And that's kind of the way this was. But Kirk Douglas plays him, an older guy in it. But when they do the flashbacks, it's his son playing him.
Right.
And so he's playing the young version of the same character, which is pretty cool.
You mean Kurt Russell?
Kurt Russell. I'm sorry. Yeah, Kurt Russell. Not Kurt
Oh,
Douglas.
okay.
Yeah,
I was
okay,
like,
sorry. We were all kind of like, I was like, huh? Yeah. So
is Kirk Douglas dead?
yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, that's,
Charlie?
that's what.
Yes.
That's what made Monarch crazy.
Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
Well, then Michael Douglas would be. Because I thought, does Michael Douglas have an actor son?
That's what I was sitting there. I'm like, wait a second. Michael Douglas is the old one.
Yeah, Kurt Douglas.
Anyway.
Kurt Douglas in that man.
Yeah.
He's crushing it.
He's crashing. All right,
Anyway,
this next one.
So, but I could see him in it. That'd be cool.
This next one, John's all-time most hateful movie of the '80s,
Really?
The Never-Ending Story.
I hate that.
Me too. It's
Oh
the
my
worst.
gosh, that stupid horse. I'm supposed to
Yeah.
love this horse, and then he dies in a mud puddle. I'm
got
like,
depressed.
gosh.
He got depressed.
Oh, okay. I
That's
was like,
It's the swamp of depression. Or
stupid
whatever it is.
swamp of depression.
Swamp
serious.
of Despair.
Despair. Yeah,
But
he
yes,
got despaired.
That was how I discovered depression as a child. I've never been the same since. I have never.
I'm telling you, it's
never
one
been
of the
truly happy.
It's one of the
since-
most tragic scenes of my childhood.
It's a terrible movie. The never-ending story. I remember watching it. I remember watching it as a kid, and we're watching it as
Falcor. He's a wish dragon.
we were watching it pizza night. My dad's sitting there watching it with us, and he's
he
like,
singing it?
"No," but he was like watching it. Finally, he's like, he goes, "Boy, they sure got that title right."
Wow, that is totally a John.
Yeah, it's
line.
totally a John G line. That's totally something he would say. And it was the truth. That movie lasts like 10 hours or something. It's like terrible. Anyway, go ahead, Tim. Sorry.
I think it would be hard to be remade now because it doesn't make a lot of sense.
It makes no sense. That's a mushroom induced coma movie. Is
I
what
mean,
that is.
haven't you ever wanted to run away from your class and hide in the attic and read a book?
Every day. You don't even understand.
See?
Yes, every
See?
day.
All right, number 8. I don't know about this one. I don't think I'd watch a remake, but it's Inner Space. Martin Short, Meg Ryan, Dennis Quaid.
No.
Yeah, I don't.
I would watch a remake of it, especially if Jack Quaid played the Martin
We
Short
are going.
character. But yeah,
Yeah.
once again, Jack Quaid's a great comedic actor.
But-
yeah, I would watch it. I loved it as a kid.
I don't think I'd put it on the list of 80s that never need
would-
to
Oh
be
yeah,
remade.
I definitely would watch.
It would be
again.
one of them movies where Dennis Quaid had to have a cameo in it. You know, it'd like be the pizza delivery
God,
guy
have
or
you
something.
seen Dennis Quaid lately?
No.
Like his whole, this part of his face doesn't move. It's just like his jaw. His bottom jaw goes down and nothing else.
He's a-
He's a ventriloquist
The views
dummy.
expressed on this podcast do not reflect that of all
No,
members.
I mean, I
participating.
think he's had so much Botox. He's got so much Botox that only the bottom half of his face moves.
He has upper face cancer, Tim. No.
Oh, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dennis.
I'm sorry, Dennis Quaid. You can throw a
I'm so
fastball
sorry.
whenever you want. All right, this next one, I agree it would be hard to remake this one just because of some of the iconic people in it. It's Caddyshack.
If they remade it, it would have Will Ferrell in it.
You think he would be the groundskeeper?
No, he would be Chevy
Chevy
Chase.
Chase?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And the groundskeeper would be Timothy Chalamet.
No, the Timothy Chalamet would be the amateur golfer that's being taught by Will Ferrell in the role. I can't think.
Yeah, that's the caddy.
Yeah, I'm talking about who's the groundkeeper.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Groundskeeper. We could definitely go.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah, or we could go a totally different direction, and it would be Adam Sandler would be the Chevy Chase character, and then you'd have Rob Schneider as the groundskeeper.
Oh, I could see that. I could see that being straight to Netflix with his contract that he has. But I don't think they need to make that one. I'm fine with that.
Did you watch Fletch Rides Again?
No, I heard it's good though.
It's really good.
John Hamm.
John
right?
Hamm should not be as good as Fletch as he is, but it's fantastic. That's Chevy Chase's Fletch was supposed to be charismatic, and it's Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
But with John Hamm, who actually can be funny, he was great, and obviously, convincing being with the young Italian woman.
Right. Unlike Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
Back in.
All right, so this next one is not a movie that I feel like I'm a big fan of. I don't know if anybody else in the room, but it's the Stephen King joint, Stand By Me. This is one that people feel like should never be remade. But honestly, I never attached to it. I don't know if any of you guys attached to this movie.
Stand by Me.
Yeah.
Not really.
Finding dead bodies.
Well, I mean, I wasn't really allowed to watch it when I was a kid because they cussed.
Yeah.
Because you
Same.
had River Phoenix on there cussing, and what's his name, Jerry O'Connell, and all the rest of them saying those cussy words, and that just
Corey,
wasn't
one
going to
of
work with my parents. So
Yeah, so I don't care. Now, this next one I think would be hard to remake because you just couldn't do some of the same humor they did, which was Airplane. I don't think they could remake that one. I think I don't know if that silly humor plays up the way it used to. I personally love Airplane.
I never got Airplane. I never got into it.
You're too sophisticated.
No, it just
Yeah. So let's be honest.
well,
It's too dumb of humor for you.
You watch British documentaries for fun.
yeah. Okay, you're
I
right.
bought a whole streaming channel of British documentaries.
Sure.
Yeah, I do. I do. Curiosity Stream. I own it. I mean, I have. No, I mean, I own it.
I thought you made that up.
No.
That's
No.
legit.
Yeah. It's called Curiosity Stream. It's like $2.99 a month, and it's just chock full of British documentaries.
Are you like subscriber of the month?
Probably, I'm probably the only subscriber.
What a thing, John. We're keeping us going for another month.
Well, I could.
There'll be a commercial, but like, and we want to thank John Mattingly for joining us today.
We'd like to thank John Mattingly for his continued
They're just-
support
they
of
just literally,
Curiosity
like,
Stream.
mesh
Whatever you're
news
using
streams
it.
together.
Yeah.
We want to thank the Yank over there.
We have a new documentary we produced about curry for John specifically.
I'd be like, yes.
Based on his suggestion in our
Every
monthly email chat.
it's so funny. Every time they ask for suggestions, whatever I suggest, they make. It's just weird.
I've won the Best Viewer award every month.
Every month.
It's a good channel. It's a
Yeah.
good channel.
All right. I don't really care for this next movie either. It's The Breakfast Club, John Hughes. I am actually surprised this one has not been remade.
I agree with that statement. Yeah.
I feel like this one is like right up what everybody wants to have remade right now.
This one and another one that I'm sure is on this list. Both of them, I'm very surprised they haven't been remade.
Spoilers, Charlie. Who do you think it is? What
Lost Boys.
not on here?
Okay.
But I'm definitely surprised on Lost Boys.
There was a spiritual remake.
Stop it.
Well, it was Vampires versus the Bronx, and it was very good. It was kind of the vampires invaded the Bronx, and the only people that realized it are a few kids. And so instead of reading comics, they watched the Blade films. It's a great movie. Definitely give it a watch.
What's it called?
Vampires versus the Bronx.
Okay.
It's on Netflix. It was a Netflix original.
Is it on the Curiosity Stream?
It's
It
not
might
on
be.
Curiosity Stream.
The documentary about the making of it. might be on
The
Curiosity
documentary about the documentary about Megan. But it's not. They never claimed it was a remake of the Lost Boys, but it is. It's not scene for scene, shot for shot, but it's the same story. But it's very well done. It's very fun.
Okay. The next one is the Back to the Future trilogy, which would be odd because going Back to the Future in the same timeline that they did now, it's only like going back to like 1987 or something like that. So
Yeah.
it would be weird for I think us. I say that, but I mean I'm sure our parents and others experience the same weirdness there. But I kind of feel like eventually they will remake these movies.
It's a movie they just need to leave alone.
I agree.
I mean, I understand what we're just.
It'll be after Michael J. Fox passes away.
Yeah,
I think
it's
they'll
just.
give that type of credit to it.
Yeah.
That respect to the franchise.
But it'll probably get purchased by Seth Rogen, and it'll be him and Jonah Hill and Justin Long and his other friends and Michael Cera, and it'll
If they had to have remade it
Paul
about 10
Rudd.
years ago, it would have been Michael Cera and Paul Rudd. Michael Cera as Marty and Paul Rudd as Doc Brown.
I definitely could see that. Yeah. Number next is The Goonies,
Ooh,
movie that never needs to be remade.
Can I tell you guys? Never seen it.
wow.
I've seen it like once or twice in my entire life, but
It was one
it's
of those
not
movies
something I watch a lot.
I couldn't watch as a kid because it's filthy. It's just filthy.
Well, especially when the phallic broke off the
Yeah,
knees.
that's-
Yeah,
yeah,
that
that's
was
what it was.
just over
Yeah.
the top for my parents.
Oh, yeah.
And so we never
The statue, they break off
His
the
his dingalinger breaks off the statue
his
and
tally.
he
Tally
shoves it. He shoves it in his mouth to hide it, and it's just back in the day it was just over the top, and it was just my
The
parents.
part that was so scandalous to me as a kid was when the older girl kissed the younger guy.
I don't know why, but maybe I just wished it was me or something. But I was just like, ooh.
Yeah, that was always kind of a thing.
You always did want to be a younger guy.
I did totally. Yeah. And finally, the last movie, The Princess Bride.
I agree. Don't ever remake
100%.
No.
Do not remake it. When Hollywood tried to do that stupid COVID,
I thought that was great, but
no,
it was just fun.
I guess. But yeah, so those are the movies from the 80s. Is there any that we missed? Charlie called out The Lost Boys. It's a good one. 80s films, though, that should never be remade.
Terminator.
I was thinking Commando.
Yeah, that was my first thought, but I went Terminator
Yeah,
instead.
yeah, there we go. As usual, Charlie and I on the same wavelength. Smokey and the Bandit.
E.T.
I don't.
Oh, American Ninja.
Mm-hmm.
American Ninja.
I know it's the 70s, but American Graffiti. It's a perfect film as it is.
Invasion USA.
Yeah.
Those are. I mean, you couldn't remake that anyway. I mean, it's just too.
What if you remade it with Will Ferrell as Chuck Norris's character, but he played it for serious? That'd be great.
And Kevin Hart's in it as the main terrorist? Yeah, that would be out of this world.
Okay, Susie.
I'd go to
I got the Susie
I'd go
eye roll
to
on
the
that one.
theater for that one.
Indiana Jones.
I think
Never-
they're going to though.
They're gonna.
Young Indy, right?
Uh,
I did love that
There's
series though. The Young
between
Indy series was great.
Continuing
It's on
the
Disney
story
Plus.
and remaking the films shot for shot.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think they'll remake those Indiana films.
They can continue making
Well,
them.
that'd be
different
another
actor.
topic,
I
right?
don't
Like
care, but-
your character, that character though, or a version of that character, different timelines, or
this
whatever
is
it may be.
off topic, but they were talking about doing. This was about 10 years ago. They were going to make a prequel to Escape from New York with Timothy Olyphant as Snake Plissken. That would have been great. That would have been a
He's
very
great.
good.
He's great. I liked him.
You know,
He's got a great name.
that too. But yeah, something like that. If you continue a story with a different actor, I can get that too, especially one that's aged out of the role or past. Like if they remade the original James Bond films with Sean Connery with a different actor, I'd be fine with that.
Delta Force.
Yeah. Delta Farce was amazing with Larry the Cable Guy and Bill Engvall and DJ Qualls.
Delta Force.
No, that really was a movie.
I
guys.
know it was.
I'm sure your parents loved it.
Hey, my mom's a loyal listener. Apologize to her.
No, I think that seems like their type of comedy. Your dad used to love Bill Engvall back in the day, dude.
We did watch that
Here's your
that redneck comedy
Blue
tour
Collar
Yeah.
Comedy Tour, yeah.
like 87 times.
Yeah, that wasn't an insult. Your dad loves Bill Engvall. It's and Jeff Foxworthy.
Was it? Did it ever air on Fox News?
Now that's an insult to your parents because they watch movies too, and they don't show movies on Fox News.
So
Debbie,
we have
don't be
time
mad
for the
at me.
box office top 10, John.
We do have time
top
for the
5.
We
top
do have
2?
time for the box office
Top
top
one.
10.
Tell me the box office.
All right, so this is a box
Ladies and
office
gentlemen.
top 10 this week.
You better
Or
Ladies
whatever
and
the
gentlemen,
date
stop
is.
your cars, pull over. Make sure Johnny's
This
out
is
of
what's
the
at the
vehicle.
theater.
'Cause it's the
For
box
January
office
26th.
top 10.
Here we go. And at number 9. Oh, it's only the top 9 this week.
Oh,
We
you
got a tie
it.
somewhere.
Yeah, well, that's because the number 10 slot got lost somewhere. I don't know where it's at.
It's gonna be
We're a high
after
high
4.
production show.
Well, we're trying. We're trying. It's
The
hard.
school is
yeah.
still in session, folks.
Yeah.
Wait till the summer session.
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll finally get it all worked out.
Podcast presented
Industrial
by
Light and
Kenny
Magic up
Kane
in
or
here
something.
when-
Yeah, we're-
summertime.
I mean, like I say,
We'll do one from the pool next
I
time.
may have to have one of y'all take over one of these machines over here at some point. All right,
take
at
over
number
the one
9,
we
The
do.
Boys
Oscar
in the Boat.
Jones.
What?
Boys in the
Oh,
Boat.
that movie.
$2,536,886. Grand total of $43,864,293 so far. Yes. Number 8, Night Swim. $2,799,000.
My wife will not watch the commercials for it.
No, that's
Like,
just too
I
much.
don't want Jen or the kids to see it because
They'll never get in the pool
Yeah,
again.
they'll
There might be a Kraken.
Might be a Kraken in the
It'd be a
pool.
cracking out there. That's what I'm saying.
$2,799,395 for a grand total of $23,853,535.
About a night.
Number 7, this is a new one. ISS. It's the one about the Russians and the Americans fighting over the International Space Station. It has made, are you ready? $4,202,222 this week. But it is number 7, so first week out.
Do you,
What does that
How do
say?
you feel about that, John? How do you feel about the ISS movie? Do you think that they would really break out in a fight up there?
Well, my problem with it is
There's a documentary line.
Is,
Well, on the Curiosity Stream,
Well,
they
on the-
actually had a
on the heels of watching the television show on Apple TV called For All Mankind. It's kind of ridiculous to me. I think it's a ridiculous premise, but that's just me. Anyway, number 6, Aquaman, $3,656,416. Yeah, you did. For a complete grand total of $114,191,132. Number 5 coming in is Anyone But You. Don't know anything about it.
That is the movie with Sydney Sweeney and the guy from Top Gun that hanged.
Oh, yeah,
It's like a
yeah,
romantic
yeah.
Comedy where we're gonna fake being boyfriend and girlfriend,
And then wind up really being
And then-
boyfriend and girlfriend?
fall in love.
Okay.
I
yeah.
like the actor whose name I'm blanking on.
Yeah, he was good in Top Gun.
Yeah.
$5,402,784.
Glenn Howe, the most fake white man's name ever.
$64,224,362. So not a bad showing for it. Number 4, Migration, coming in at $5,460,365,
Went to a theater.
and it has a $94,832,800.
The way you said it almost sounded like you were saying
Migration. It's the PRP coming at me. Oh, one of my favorites of all time, Wonka, number 3, $6,714,704 for a grand total of $187,442,442. Not a bad showing for Timothy Chalamet playing Timothy Chalamet.
Stop it.
I will give that to
Saying
you.
his name.
Number 2, oh, we've talked about this with Beekeeper. Beekeeper
You missed
this
that
week.
podcast, Charlie.
$8,603,081.
I had AI simulate.
It was an awesome
4 other Jason
podcast.
Statham movies, and I read the plots and the Beekeeper plot, and they had to guess which one was the real movie. Oh, that's awesome.
It was cool. We did a good.
They
I
got
think.
it. They guessed
We
it.
were good sleuths. We broke.
Yeah, I think we did a good job with it. I think we did a real good job with it. All right, moving on. That's Beekeeper there,
I like the preview where he ties the
$31,256,664.
guy to the truck and just drives him right off the overpass.
Yeah, that's amazing. And number 1, Mean Girls, the musical. $11,663,166 for a grand total of $50,011,790.
I've seen videos where people didn't realize it was a musical and they go to see it and it breaks out in a song and you can actually hear like audible people going like in the movie.
Yeah, because I thought they remade it, and Susie's like, "Oh no, it's a musical," and I was like, "No, I don't. Never mind. I didn't. Of course, it wasn't like I was watching the first one or
I like the
anything.
original
It's
musical.
one of my favorite movies of all time.
Wednesdays we wear pink.
Yeah. No, not for
I
me.
did not leave South Central for this.
I thought you said South of Terrace for
That
this.
too.
Well, guys, this has been another exciting podcast, full of adventure, full of danger, full of mockery. It's just how we roll
Full
here.
of Charlie laughing so hard that he almost died.
Yeah. And so if you enjoyed this podcast, check us out wherever you listen to podcasts. Maybe check us out on YouTube. I'm not sure if John's got it all going, but we think so.
We're
We
working.
think so.
We're working feverishly.
We'll post on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not on social media anymore, but they'll post on the Facebook page.
So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever carpool line you're in, just know that we here at Louisville's Best Podcast are thankful for you.
That's right.
We're sorry, Brad.
We're gonna catch y'all later.
Intermedia Escuela Mamis.